I just had a very funny idea
Oh, you did you?
regarding your broadcast. Why
Oh
not
no.
put like the images of me and Tracky into your stream, and you're talking. You will be talking to the avatars that are projected into the stream. So you have actually someone to talk to if you're
I
not
will.
talking to
This
the viewers, which
and
would be the camera.
yeah,
The
and
viewers. He
unfortunately,
wanted to do that, actually.
so this is something that I actually talked
Poor
to Trekkie
bastard.
about before we got started today. Because of the wedding this weekend and how busy I've been unable to redo the UI for the Bust Out broadcast. There is a new UI coming. It's all going to be done up, and
Sparkle, sparkle.
I want to have frames for you guys as well when I'm talking to you. And if you're not on camera, at least like an avatar or something, so people know, that I am talking with other people, as well
That
as
would be funny.
to
Hang on,
the
guys. I'm just
viewers.
gonna be back in a minute.
Okay. Um, but yeah, I mean that's up to you guys though. If you want to be uh oh. I don't think Trekkie's coming back. Those are sirens. Um, but if you guys want to be like on a part of this on here each weekend on Sundays, then more than happy to have you guys on here, and I'll set it up so that you guys have a presence as well. But I have to organize the UI throughout this week and make sure that it's ready. A prototype world experiment. Yeah, I mean, everything's going to be sort of a prototype to begin with. Nothing is going to be set in stone. This is a constant draft that we will always work on and experiment with until, we're happy with how everything looks, feels, and we want to move on to the next stage, which I guess would be introducing lore and story to the world. Um, so this is one gigantic experiment at this point, and time will tell how successful it will be. But it's all about just creation, ideas, brainstorming, and a think tank of ideas.
Can I see the shot?
The what?
Please. It's in the background of it.
Uh, you mean that?
Your
The
board.
the board? It is. I'll move out to the side so you can kind of see it a bit better. Um, but these were the things that kind of I wanted to brainstorm today to get
What was
into the idea of what we're doing.
what was
So
the SS?
SS solar system, so like the planetary bodies around it and what's kind of in the general area
Okay.
that we will interact with throughout this. But we decided on like naming for our planets is just going to be multi numbers for now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, but tahi rua toru fa is Maori words for
Question.
it. Yes.
If you want to go for the size of the planet or the sun?
Both. Suns was just so I could like how many suns, color, and like the general gist of it. For size, yeah, I'm talking about like size of the actual planet that we're talking about, because it'll be if we decide on the size of the planet in our yearly cycle, then the sun would have to be of a certain range anyway, really.
Yeah, so the planet first, then the suns. I was just wondering size of the sun from your planet's point of view or from an external point of view, where you can see the whole system.
External point of view. So
that would be calculating in the distance.
Yeah, planet point of view, okay. I assume will look very much like any other given sun, I suppose. It might be slightly larger than our own sun.
Well,
but
if that's the case, you don't have to do the calculating now. You can do it later on when we're finished with everything.
Yeah.
Okay, freeze for a second. What?
I'm trying to freeze, but it's hard to do. The year I
What's
usually
going on?
think your evolution is a big circle.
Okay, let's not worry about evolution
We
for
could
now.
have the conversation 1,000 times. You're right. You're right. All right, let's just get back
Okay, so
back
let's
on
just say that
track.
evolution worked itself out because we don't know exactly how it worked even on Earth right now. Even if evolution happened, or what the hell is going on.
Nah, bro.
So we
Creationism
can't
all the
even find
way.
out what's going on in this world we're creating.
Creationism all the way. Okay, so basically what I've got at the moment, other than the board, is
I don't
our
even see
sun,
the
which is
board.
going to
I
be
need to take a
a
look
white
quick.
sun. It's probably going to be a larger body than the Earth sun, with a longer yearly cycle for our planet. And instead of having like a yearly, like, you know, we can have our yearly cycle at being anywhere, like say 400 or 500
Yes.
days or something,
Yes.
but
God damn it.
split it into say 3 phases as well.
Nara, god damn it.
God
Your
damn
face
it.
was frozen in the perfect position for me to take a terrible screen cap.
Mine was fantastic.
Oh, I could have taken the worst screen cap of you. Your mouth was like
All over the show.
touching your chest pretty much. That's pretty good.
But I've got, what else we got? White sun, larger body, the 2 planets, Tahi and Ua, in the same orbit, on opposite sides of the sun. So your mirrored world that you can't see and you will never see to begin with.
Until blah 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 happens.
Until blah blah blah. Until we
course.
introduce law. Once we introduce law, then everything changes and things become much more visible.
Oh, I can't even think. I'm sorry. I need to say it.
What?
Star Trek reference. Okay, I'm done.
Winter is coming from Trekkie, so yeah. How are we gonna do it though? Are we
there's
gonna?
a character in Star Trek named Lore.
Yeah, I know. Are we gonna do?
No, that's all I need to say.
It's gonna be winter on your side of the
I
earth. Oh man.
Oh, you're getting winter soon now. How's that feel? I got dirty ass fucking soggy spring.
I hate winter here. Actually, it'll be alright because I've got really
We
nice
never had
jackets.
winter to begin with.
It's all good. It's all good. But
You did not take your shirt off the whole summer.
I'm not allowed
What?
to.
Well, so we didn't.
What?
You're not allowed to. Like, it is against Twitch's EULA for you to be like that.
Okay, I understand that. Never mind.
Like,
checked the link, I'm gonna
streamers
check
have
out.
actually been told to put a shirt on or put a more covering top on
Yeah,
at
I know.
times.
It got.
You mean
it
women
got
can't just wear their
enforced
bras on
recently.
stream? How else are they supposed to get viewers?
I mean, girls still kind of do that kind of stuff, and they get away with it because Twitch is probably
Yeah, they do.
run by
They still
all
do it.
Because you
mostly
know
males.
It's
because
Um,
the Twitch admins don't care. They're just like, oh damn, look at her.
But
Okay, sweet.
I know of other streamers like guys that used to wear like tank tops and stuff, and they were told to wear less revealing stuff.
I bet you can do that still on Hitbox.
Oh yeah, probably.
You know, Nera, when you used Hitbox? It's been
Yes.
some time.
I've still got the account. It's still all there. But I'm just I'm not really using it.
I bet you
'cause
can
it's-
do that on Hitbox.
Yeah, their
What's the
servers
link
are
that
not
Ron's sending?
reliable at the moment. So I'm kind of waiting for them to upgrade their stuff to try to get.
I would check out Run's link, but
Yes.
I am checking.
don't-
I'm checking out Runt's link, but I don't know what the hell it is. I think it's just a song clip in Lord of the Rings. Gangster Gandalf brings up hip hop, brings hip hop to Middle Earth. There you go. It's a hip hop song with Gandalf.
But taking the hobbits to Isengard.
Yeah, not quite. Okay. So we have
Is that one?
we have some planetary bodies. We have a sun. What kind of size of the planet do we want? Do we want a larger planet, a smaller planet? Is this gonna be a day
I was
walk
thinking
around?
myself about a smaller planet so that it would, one, be easier to explore so the lore wouldn't take as long to progress when we get to that. For two, so that we don't have
You
to
are
make
you
it
are
as...
helpful, Time Lord. You are helpful, dude.
Well, yeah, Time Lord, you do help with provoking questions that we need to answer further along the line, which does help.
I mean, it's stuff that we
Yeah, but I
do
was
kind
thinking
of have to
smaller
I'm
consider
no,
planet.
now
we're
as
we're
well.
basically not doing anything more. We're just raising questions.
I was
Yeah,
thinking
but
smaller
And
planet
we're
anyway.
basically not doing
in
anything
in
more.
in order to create, you have to raise questions. You have to have way more questions than answers. We'll slowly get there, is the idea.
So yeah, Time Lord, you're doing the same good job we are doing.
It's just easier for us because we get instant answers from each other because we're on chat.
Yes, there is a delay on stream, so you have to like wait before we actually acknowledge what you're
I
saying.
think it's about 15 or
It's
something.
about 15 seconds. Sometimes it goes
Yeah.
down to like 5.
Yeah. It's if they change the servers in the Asian region to be actually reliable, then it'd probably go down and my stream quality would go up higher, but unfortunately that's not happening.
So back to planet size. I anyway
Yes.
was thinking smaller planet, so it would be easier to explore, so that we can make lore progress faster for one, and for two, we wouldn't have to populate. Like if we wanted to have it all populated, it would be much easier. Or if we just want to have parts of it populated so that there would be a mysterious, unexplored region, then it would be much easier to get to it and explore it for the people in the lore itself.
Okay.
Also, if the planet is small, then if you want to go for a rural way, like you're gonna have a small tribe of some things that explore their own world, because and kind of shamanistic, like using shamanism to explain the world and the celestial bodies and everything.
And also, it'd be quicker to travel. So, like, instead of, say, oh, it took 3 days to walk from blah 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 to blah blah blah, or not 3 days. Like,
yeah, nothing
if I
special
wanted to
happened in
travel,
those
We
3
definitely-
days.
if I was exploring, and it took me a year to find blah 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 spice route or whatever,
Yeah.
instead it would take me 7 months.
Okay, so we want a smaller body, or typically Earth or smaller.
Yeah, I think that
Um,
would be
I mean,
reasonable.
You could look at something like Mars. Like Mars was originally theorized to
I
have
can never
water
remember
and
if
be
Mars is
an
larger
actual.
or smaller. I think
It's a lot smaller. It's a lot smaller.
I just remember that it's either a lot bigger or a lot smaller.
Let's
I don't
see.
fucking
Radius of Earth
that stuff.
is 6,371 kilometers. The radius of Mars is 3,390. So it's almost half the size of Earth.
It's significant.
It's just a
it's
lot
much
smaller. I think
I'm sorry, I need to show this off.
potentially we would end up with like a smaller world because, like you guys said, you want to be able to explore it, and like get around, have people be able to get around the world within
Also,
a particularly good time frame as opposed to
Also, the
a
smaller
year
the
or
world,
something.
the smaller the world, the faster it turns, which means you can put the sun even further away.
And your
Mm.
day
It'll
cycle
still
would be the
a
same.
normal day-year cycle.
Yes.
And it would also be easier to warm too. But oh wait, before we answer all these questions, remember that we don't have to explain anything
Yes.
We don't have to, no.
yet. So let's just throw everything together and then we'll find an explanation for it.
So we'll say, should we say between Earth
We're gonna
and Mars
modulate
sort of
the
Okay,
size?
this small
here's
world.
what. Before we go any further, I have an idea. We're gonna lay out a set of things that we do first, so we can explain what the hell it is, and then after we say what we want to do, we'll find an explanation for it. To avoid all this
Well, the thing
pointless.
is, if we're starting small, we only have to explain the things that our lore is encountering, or the beings in our lore are encountering.
Yes.
And if we even have to explain it, like if those
But-
beings we're
like
gonna
like
deal
we
with
said
later
when we first
are
started
getting
the
in touch
project.
with things on the shamanic way, then we'll just have to explain all that which the lore touches, with, or rather the beings we are telling the story of.
Yeah.
So that's what I usually do when I create a story on my own. I usually start off with something simple, and I'll explain the things on along the way as I
It
go.
gets more
That's how I
complex
create
later
my
on.
characters for the stories.
Yes. Yes.
I
But
I,
like
I
like we
place them in
said,
positions
DJ,
and I see what happens.
at the beginning, like
Yes,
of this
I'm here.
project, like we said, we said we'd focus on the world, do the research, and build a world, and then that would be the basis for our lore as well later on. So it would go part way to developing our lore and telling our lore. So I mean, what you're saying is, from a story point, when you get to those questions, you'll answer them. But from
And you
what,
want to be prepared.
like
Yeah,
what,
it's just something different. I gotta change my mind into
yeah,
your position. It's a
like
bit
Yeah, it
different.
gets hard.
Sorry.
It gets hard to adjust to it because I come from the story standpoint too, but I can understand because
yeah,
I've created
and
worlds before, and it gets confusing. Is it?
yeah, and I
So
love
yeah,
your
pardon
guys'
me.
point of view. Like you approach things in a way that makes sense as well. And this is a complete. It's hard to get around, like doing things
You know,
a
it's better
different
though.
way.
I think for it to be a little bit confusing, than for it to just be one person thinking of it.
Yes, yes. I think if I was just doing this by myself, then it would be it would be a very long process that didn't really get very far. And although we're getting more questions than answers,
Calendar is forged last night. What if
at
humanity themselves
least
can be
we're,
created?
we're pushing forward with it.
God damn it, Time Lord! Are you trying to confuse us even more right now? We're having a moment.
Probably.
Do you mind?
But yeah, so come at this with the expectation of, we'll build the world, and you know uh, decide the factual elements of it. So the days,
So it's just the
the
setting.
seasons, the years, the planetary bodies, it's themselves, the continents, and that kind of stuff. And then once we have that, then we can create our lore based on that. Like when we were talking about like environments last week, we were talking about how
Having more
it's,
alien environments
yeah, but um it's not the creatures or the people that inhabit the environment
that
that
make
dictates it. It's the other
it's
way
the
around. It's the
environment. It's the
environment that
environment
dictates
that dictates what people are in it.
what inhabits it. So that's the way we're doing it around, is we're creating
I
the
think DJ said
environment,
that.
and then and then from there, we'll use that to dictate, what inhabits each area, and the story for that area, kind of, that way around. if you if you
Hmm,
understand, you get me.
I understand that for sure.
Sure.
Awesome. I know it's really hard because everyone wants to look at it as a story, and essentially that's not really what we're creating right now. We're creating,
We're creating a setting for a story.
yeah, we're creating the setting, and then that will dictate what else, how our stories sort of unfold. That will give us our setting and environments and everything for the stories. So that's why I want to be semi-thorough with this and do the
Okay.
research and everything,
Think of it
because
this here.
then
We
it's explained, it's already there, and it dictates what you can do within the story, and what
we're
you
the
can
dungeon
answer, what
masters
you
making the
can't
world for the
answer.
players.
Sorry?
Have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons? This will make it a lot simpler.
Yes, I have. They're bringing out a new Dungeons and
We are
Dragons
the
game. It
dungeon
looks
master
awesome.
making the map for the players. We're making this. That's it.
Essentially,
We're
yes.
guiding. We're
Yes,
guiding
we're
the
currently
story.
making the map.
We're not writing it.
But we will get
We're
to that
showing the
point.
story where it
We
needs to
will get
go.
to that point once we've created this, where we go, okay, if you want to tell a story and you want to create a story and lore within this, then this is the setting, this is the world, and you can create it based on this, and we
I
have
guess
all
I'll
the.
be I guess I'll be more useful at that part of the development.
You're still
Yeah,
useful here.
I know exactly what you mean, DJ.
I
I know exactly what you
I
mean.
know, I know. Like I know everyone wants to get in and talk about like stories and things like that, and I want to just as much as you guys, but I want to do the research before and build it up over time,
All right.
so that
So
we all
let's get
have
out of
like
this rut here.
yeah. So like
And
later down the track, I want to write a story. DJ wants to write a story. Trekkie wants to write a story. All three of us can write a story based on the world that we've created.
that
And
we've put it in, yes.
yes, and then the setting, the pretty much like the lore for the world is already there, and it makes sense across all three stories.
Hmm.
You know?
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Everyone. Okay. Let's
take a
take a
deep
break for
breath.
just a second. DJ, I want to hear your breath. Just imagine the Ori
Wanna hear
music.
what?
Okay.
Deep breaths, man. Deep
Now,
breaths.
let's get back. Let's climb out of this rut that we kind of dug ourselves in here
We
for a
did.
while.
We did.
And let's get back to the celestial bodies, space things that you can see from the planet. Let's focus on a small thing, just from the planet.
Okay.
So, moon or moonza?
Yes. I think
I'd
because
suggest 2 moons.
how I just want to put in the whole fact of like Time Lord was saying earlier, like the tides and stuff. 2 moons
Well,
we can
let's not
definitely
worry
work
about that.
with,
Remember,
but-
let's not worry about the facts too much yet,
Okay.
because we can explain that later.
Alrighty. We'll explain that stuff later on. Why do we want 2 moons? Just 'cause? Is this just
Because
Personally, I like the idea of
I
two moons
thought
too.
about I like the thought about 1 moon being visible at daytime and 1 being visible in nighttime.
And another thing is too, instead of maybe having stars that point the way north, for example, we have the North Star. The moons could always point blah 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 direction.
my phone's gonna die? That's okay. I'll let it die.
Yes, they can be used as orientation points on the sky.
And I think having two would also be a good idea, or not a good idea, but I kind of like toying with that idea because when you do get into lore later, it would help with throwing a bunch of bullshit in there, which would be fun.
Okay. Well, yeah, like Time Lord's saying, it could the result of ocean tides, freezing climates. Like you said, Trekkie, we won't focus on that aspect at this stage. I mean, we can easily probably explain that away by saying they're really small, sort of more comet bodies as opposed to
Well, yes,
moon size,
another thing
in
is
which
the moon could
case,
appear to be very big, but it's actually small and just closer. So we can
Yeah.
also explain that later on too. So we don't have to worry about the size of it yet or
in
the
which
distance
case,
yet.
if we want to explain it away that way, then we can say that you're not going to get massive ocean tides or anything due to the fact that they're vastly smaller than an average moon. However, there are 2 of them, so it would just mean that you would have an average tide at all times, kind of thing.
Or possibly too, if you have 2 of them, there could be no tide. Because if they're at
Yeah,
different
'cause-
ends of the sky, then
which
there
is-
would be no tide because they both pull in the same direction. So
Which
actually,
is
the ocean would kind
essentially-
of bowl a bit, possibly.
Yeah, which is essentially what DJ's saying with having one during the day and one at night. So they would be on opposite sides of the planet.
Well, actually, if we're gonna I kind of have an idea to throw out there. If we're gonna have the same parallelism kind of thing, like how we have Rua on the other side of Tahi,
Yeah.
then we could also have parallel moons too, and we could kind of build off a kind of theme of parallelism.
We.
Build of what?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm too keen to do that. I don't know.
You mean build a myth cycle about the two moons, two planets?
So he's saying, making it so that it's very symmetrical in nature for most aspects of the world, I'm assuming.
But another reason for that would be if you lead into the lore, it would definitely support a creation oriented kind of faith system in the lore,
Yes.
because people would say, "Oh, everything's placed so perfectly." Like, why? Who would not do that? Like, someone had to do that.
Yeah, there has
What
to
about
be a
different time
creator,
zones?
yeah.
Well, Time Lord, you wouldn't have different time zones in a world that doesn't, have like
You
flights
wouldn't
and
have
stuff like
different
that.
you wouldn't have different time
Because
zones
your world would only be as long
based
as
on
you,
two
as
moons
far as you
anyway.
can walk.
Yeah, but like I think what Time Lord is meaning is like by having two moons, but you'd have one like during the day. The sun is always going to be the thing that dictates day and night cycle and time zone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But we could also do it so that we have
Um,
two moons, like one trailing the other.
Actually, a moon reflecting sunlight increases the effective range of the sunlight, which means the planet would not
Would
be
have longer
half
day.
night, half day, but there would be a longer day
Longer day, shorter night.
and a shorter night.
I think that would also be kind of cool.
Would that mean that we'd have a longer twilight period? The in between
actually,
day and night?
I think there would be a
I
period.
think so, because the sun goes down, but the moon is still visible.
There
which
would be a
means
period
there's
of kind
only
of
half
afterglow.
light.
It would be like an afterglow
Reflected
kind of
light,
period
yes.
between day and night.
Yes, so we would end up with a cycle that was a longer day, but you had sort of extended periods of twilight instead of
it'd be a
dark
normal
night.
day.
You'd have a very short
dark
period
night.
of dark night
Well,
where
the
you
night
might
would
have
begin.
like 5 or 6 hours of actual darkness.
Where the night progressively gets dark. And then the saying where it's always dark before the light would definitely come in, because it would progressively get darker
I think
instead of it
that'd
just
be
all of
I
a
think
sudden
that'd be
being
awesome if we did something like that. So we
dark.
have a slightly longer day, and then mostly
So that
twilight
would mean
hours
too
followed by a
that the
very
moon would.
a shorter period of actual dark time.
Now, are these moons going to be... Now we can worry about the size.
Does
Now
that
that we know that there's going to be two.
but are we gonna put them like on opposite sides of the planet rotating? Are we gonna have them
Write it
trailing?
down.
I think it would actually be kind of a better idea to have them, say if you draw a circle and you draw one at the very top, to have one like a quarter turn or maybe a third away instead, because there would still be tides, like normal tides, for one, and for two, that would help with the longer day, shorter night, I think, anyway,
So
because if it's reflecting light, that might... It's kind of hard to explain without drawing
Put them
it.
down, please. Two moons.
I've
Because
written
I'm trying
down.
to
Hang
draw
on, I'll
sketchier
go
a little
back.
bit.
I'll go to my desktop because I'm writing stuff into here as well so that you can see.
So I'm
So
just gonna
we're gonna
draw,
go with we'll go with two moons. So we're saying on opposite sides or 90 degree.
I would like to say nearly opposite sides.
We could have them
Excuse me,
rotating opposite directions. That could be really interesting because then that align
That would be really interesting, because then
and it would cause
they
some
would-
very weird effects.
and one's further from the other.
Yeah.
That would cause a very odd effect, because when they crossed, that would be really weird. Because
When they are aligned, yes.
Tenable!
and plus it would
Would be
also
floodings if they
Thank you very
align.
much for the follow,
if it
dude.
is visible during the day too, that means that it's also casting a shadow on the Earth in the day somewhere on the world.
Okay. I'm happy with that, but trying to explain how it affects the day-night cycle and everything's gonna be really weird. That's cool. That's cool.
Okay, yeah.
So 2
But I
moons
wasn't.
alternating
You
orbits.
said orbiting the opposite way.
Yeah, alternating orbit. So one goes one way, one goes the
Okay.
other.
Is the one further? Okay.
Or
Hang on.
I'll
I'm
just say
trying to sketch
opposite
this out.
orbits.
So, is the one that's further away going to be orbiting clockwise or counterclockwise?
One closer, one further. I don't know if we need to worry too much about that at this stage, or
Well, I was just gonna worry about it because I'm sketching it right now, and I want to get a solid idea of somewhat what the layout's gonna look like.
I don't know. DJ, do you wanna
Yes.
decide which way are the moons going? Which way is the close
Decide
moon?
what?
Which way is the far moon?
If they cross in their paths, that would be really, you'd have a hard time explaining everything that follows that.
Yeah, but
those
remember, we don't have to
incidents,
explain it
like,
yet.
Well, there would be a logic explanation.
Well,
that-
we'll find
do
it
we
when
not
come.
wanna
like,
do we-
If you want to do that, you'd have to deal. You'd have to deal with floodings. You'd have to deal with the Earth erupting actually, because lava is gonna be like the molten thing. The
Yeah,
molten
but
stuff
we're
inside
talking about
the
two-
planet would be drawn out, which would create
But you're
volcanoes and everything.
talking about the gravitational
So there would
force
be
of
disasters
the combined
all
moons,
over when
yes?
the moons crossed.
But
Because you're talking
We're
about
also
the
talking about-
There
combined
would be
gravitational
disasters all
pull.
over if the moons crossed.
Yeah, but only if you're
But we're also
assuming that the
talking
moons are
about-
the same size as what we currently have, but we're assuming the moons are smaller with
the
less
moons could be
gravitational pull.
much smaller.
So
Which is
if
what we
they're,
were gonna
if
do,
they're much
especially if there's
smaller,
gonna be two of
then
them.
we could assume that when they cross, the gravitational force may equal the
Ooh.
same as Earth's moon currently, which would mean you just have a high tide. That would be basically the extent of it.
And you'd have a big dark spot somewhere every once in a while.
Yes, if it's passing in front of the sun. That would be really weird.
All right.
Double eclipse of the
so-
sun. Oh yeah.
Is I'm just okay. I'm gonna jump
We
the gun here. Fuck
we
it.
can we could say something like, they're both orbiting in the same direction, with one orbiting slightly faster or something like that.
Well, the one on the inside would orbit faster.
Yeah. In
If
which
they're gonna be the
case,
same size but smaller.
the same effect of them crossing paths
I'm just jumping the
would
gun and
only
saying they're
happen
gonna orbit
maybe
clockwise.
once. Would only happen maybe, every 100 days or something.
I'm just saying that everything is gonna orbit clockwise for now. Anyway, this is quite liable to change. I just want to know what way everything's orbiting
we'll
right
sit
now.
with that clockwise. Okay. We'll explain away. We'll get into detail about that later. We'll just leave it at that for now. 2 moons, smaller, orbiting, same direction. Yeah. We happy? Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so those are gonna be 2 small moons.
Clockwise.
Now we're gonna have to name them.
White sun. We have a white sun. Do we want a big white sun?
And they will not cross, or
They
At
will
this
eventually.
stage, we're not talking. We're not gonna consider that. We'll figure that out later
Okay.
on. We have 2 moons. That's what we're
Okay.
we're happy with for
Let's
now.
name them.
We'll go on to that. What? Why?
hang on.
Why not? Are we gonna call them closer moon and further moon for now?
Yes.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Closer moon and further moon? Okay.
C1
moon, far moon.
C1 and F1. There you go. Those are the names of your moons for now.
Close moon, far moon.
I got them. I got names for the moons.
C1, F1. That's fine by me for now. You've got names for
And plus, if
moons?
we're gonna be naming everything,
Belengar,
Belenga, that's
Belga,
probably means like.
Bel
Garbel,
and
Does that
Gar.
mean balls and does that mean something dirty in German?
Probe.
No,
I'm checking
It
it.
means
I'm
teabag.
checking it
no,
right
it
now.
doesn't.
I'm googling it. I need to Google it right
You
now.
googling, you Googleizer. Are they the names of moons that you've come up with for
But that's
stories?
just, some random suggestion I came up with. You don't have to stick with it. If you find that the language of the lore is something melodic or something very rural, then you'll have to change the names.
That's a good
Okay.
point. The language or whatever, and everything's gonna have a different name.
So
We're gonna have to sort that out
They can be Belengar
very
for now.
much later.
so I suggest just not going with the names yet.
We'll run with those names, DJ.
I'm
Those
retrieving
are
my
our
last
test
statement.
names.
I'm retrieving the names.
All right,
I'm retrieving the names. Let's not stick with the names of the moons.
I have a
now.
rough sketch right now.
What?
I'm gonna.
You don't want those names now.
No.
Okay.
Since the moon names will depend on
They're
the
gonna
language of
change.
the lore.
They're gonna
C1
change. Is what I was trying to say.
Yeah, C1 F1. We're gonna we'll stick with that.
I'm pulling up paint to make a really crappy sketch to send you guys.
I love you. Um.
You love who? No, don't get too affectionate. This is.
Okay,
This is
so let's. Okay, so we've got our planet or our planetary body. We've got 2 moons for said planet. We have a possible day-night cycle that is going to be longer day, shorter night, extended twilight. Are we? Does that sound all right?
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
Right, I'm gonna get out of my
The
chair.
night will begin with a
gosh.
period of twilight, and then the actual night will begin, which
Yep.
will be shorter than daylight time.
Yep, and then it'll go back to twilight and then day, which will be longer. So day night will be long day, short
I thought that
night,
there would be normal daytime
extended. Well,
because the moons are not aligned with the planet, but one of the moons is set aside. For example, if you look at your clock, then there would be the Earth and the planet in the center, and I imagined that one moon would be on the position where the 11 is at, and one moon would be in the position where the 6 is at.
yeah,
Which would result in a longer period of daytime, and the beginning of the night with a twilight period, and
but
a
they'd
shorter
still
night.
have to orbit as well.
Yes, of course.
Otherwise, you wouldn't have a cycle at all. I don't know.
Is this all I had right now? No, it's not.
That's cool. Well, I mean,
Okay.
when I say like long day, short night, I sort of mean long as in compared to the night. You know?
I know. I know. We all know.
Maybe I'm a bit too tired to check it to.
We'll go into
Understand.
the
It's-
scientific,
It's
factual
almost
sort of
5 a.m.
side.
here.
Oh, true. Dude. You should definitely not be awake. Like, at all.
Okay. I have no idea where I'm supposed to put this. I don't know where I'm gonna send this file to.
Dropbox?
Just send it to me after we're done. and then I'll put it into the Dropbox files. Cool. Sound good? Sound good?
There you go.
All good? Fantastic.
I gotta run.
Yes.
It's 5 a.m.
God damn.
Yes, you should definitely go to sleep, DJ.
Yeah, I wasn't tired.
You weren't tired.
If I wasn't tired, I'd
You
be awake
wanted
too.
to come and converse with us. It's been a pleasure to have you, though.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
You did. You did.
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
If you want to come back next week, more than happy to have you here. I know it's not a great time for
I
you.
want to, but I won't be able.
You won't be able to?
I want to, but I won't be able to.
God damn it.
Okay.
Because at this time, next Sunday, I'll be getting on the bus.
Oh no, not a bus.
Get on the
What?
bus. What?
Where are you going?
What? What?
Yeah, I'm driving by bus.
What? You're driving a bus? You're going
I'm
somewhere
driving by bus to work
to work,
on Sunday.
Wait, you're driving a bus. What?
taking the bus.
By bus. I'm riding it.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm riding the bus, yes.
Okay.
Riding the bus to work at
At-
this time next
At
Sunday.
5 o'clock in the morning.
5 a.m.
Here,
I feel for you, dude. I feel for you. Honestly. You need to
Every
get a job
day.
where you work from like, I don't know, 4 o'clock in the afternoon till like midnight, and then come join me. Come join
Here's
me
my
for
dirty
some
paint
streams.
picture.
I'd hate to have that because then I cannot do roleplay at all.
I know.
I'm just gonna
You
email
can
it
come
to
and
you.
roleplay with
Because
us.
screw it.
Not the bus. I hate the bus, man. I've taken a bus from Wellington to Auckland and back again before. It takes like 12 hours. It's absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible.
That sounds fun.
I will never, ever do that again. Ever.
Have you ever tried to drive to Florida?
No, I don't think I
Of
would
course
get
not.
very far if I was driving to
Anyway,
Florida from here.
it's basically going from right underneath the northern where the northern lights start. So right underneath the Arctic Circle to the equator.
Okay.
By car.
That
Not to right to equator, but about
Right to
halfway
the
to the
equator.
equator. Actually, I lied. But it's pretty far. It's a 24-hour drive. It's fucking hell.
that sounds great.
And that's without a break too.
What? Without break. Jesus. Why would you do that to
24-hour
yourself?
drive without break. Because it's
Do you
Florida.
just like stock up on no-dos or something and caffeine and just just zombie your way down there?
Oh no, you definitely need more than one driver for that.
I gotta go
You
now.
shipped out.
Alright, DJ, take off, my friend. It's been good having you. Thank you
I
very
mailed it
much
to you.
for joining us. It'll be a pity that you can't join us
Yeah.
next week, but come and join
Thanks,
me
Steve.
anytime on stream, and we can talk about details throughout the week or whatever. And
It's
and
gonna
maybe
be the
do
same time as this one.
some Ori and stuff. This will be the same time Sunday, my time Sunday, every week. This will be this show
Okay.
will be.
So it'll be Saturday evening for me.
Yes. Or early morning.
But good night.
Night,
Alright.
DJ.
Thanks
night,
for
DJ.
being useful, you all. Like Mata Attack being very useful with asking, do you like to beep turtles?
I love the beep turtles.
Totally.
for being
totally.
useful.
I don't think that's very
And then-
productive for this channel. So
I thought it would be a bit productive. So I sent you that file.
you sent.
It's rather crappy, and
Where-
and the
how did you
colors
send
on
me
it
the
are
file?
definitely liable to
Where did you
change.
send it to?
I emailed it to you. I emailed it to your Gmail.
Oh, you emailed it to my Gmail? Okay, no worries. I'll put it in the folder after this, which will go on Dropbox. Guys, if you want to be able to see what we've talked about, if you come in late and you want to know what's going on, this will go on highlights and on YouTube, but also down below we have a Dropbox that anybody can go and look at the stuff that we're working on at the moment. Good night, my friend DJ. Good night. Get some sleep. 5 o'clock in the morning, dude. Just...
Oh, you definitely need some sleep, didn't you?
Dude, just go. Collapse. Go collapse. Good to have you. Okay, so we're pretty much done, other than I'm gonna rub out this whole solar system thing, because we'll develop on that as time progresses. But the yearly cycle as well is probably the last thing that we want to sort of go over for today. What do you think? What do you reckon, Trekkie? Because I'm thinking a longer cycle than like Earth's, because that way, like what we were talking about before, the different phases and stuff from astral anomalies or whatever, we can then split it into, say, 3 different phases, and those could be treated as not necessarily individual years, but we don't have to count in time in terms of years. We can go through a set of phases. So 3 phases is, considered the yearly cycle, so to speak.
Yeah.
And that would,
That
be
makes sense.
the revolution.
So that
around the
would take
sun.
care of the years issue too that you had that we wanted to get. We wouldn't do years then. We do the color the sun color phases.
Yeah, so instead of treating it in terms of like years, like we will have, obviously, there has to be a yearly cycle where the planet orbits 1 full revolution around the sun. That is your yearly cycle. You gonna check in as well, Time Lord? No worries.
What napping out time deserve?
I think he's losing his train of thought a little bit there. I'm not entirely sure that makes sense, but that may be me. I'm pretty tired as well. But if you are off, then Time Lord, thank you very much for stopping by. We'll catch
You're
up
not
again.
allowed to be tired, Nara. You what time is it for you? It's like
5 o'clock.
5?
5
I got
o'clock
it
in the
right.
evening. But remember,
Bastard.
I've been busy all weekend with wedding and stuff, so
Oh yeah, I guess.
lots to do.
What was the other thing you had? What was I just checked in on the to see what's on the board. What's the hell is the SS?
The SS is
Oh,
gone
solar
now.
system. Never mind.
Yeah,
What?
it's
What?
gone now. We'll
What?
get back to solar system and building that up, possibly
Okay, well we have the
later on.
local solar system done right now anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean, we don't have any other planetary bodies other than ours and Rua, or Tahi and Rua, but that's okay. I mean, we can focus on those for now and then move on and develop the rest of them later on, like you and DJ were saying, when it needs to be kind of addressed, as opposed to
It's only
now.
11:04 for you, Time Lord. Come on.
Dark Knight
Don't be
reference. It's
beach.
11:04.
Don't be beach.
It's late, man. That's late. It's late. So yeah.
That's
So in terms of the yearly cycle, split it into, say, 3 phases. So we're not necessarily going to have, like, I don't know, winter, summer,
a conventional year.
conventional year. What?
I mean, like where you have the different seasons, and yeah.
We still have
But
to have
never
some
mind.
kind of seasonal system.
Yeah, we're gonna have. Yeah, I don't understand half of what I said.
So we'll go on to yearly cycle.
But my
'cause
idea
this
with
is
the
kind of
seasons
a
was
big thing. So it's gonna be, what do you reckon for kind of length?
okay. The length? I was thinking not too much longer, because did you or DJ said you think longer would be better, or who said that?
I said that. I would like it be
Okay.
kind of longer than what like Earth
Well,
cycle
I
is,
think
and split it into instead different phases.
yeah. Well, I think no longer than 500 days. I say days in like voice quotes.
Yeah, we're still
would be
gonna
reasonable.
obviously have our days, but they will be. We haven't even decided on like time frame for day-night cycle either, but that's all good.
And for the seasons, my idea anyway was like if you're gonna have the different gases or whatever between the planet and the sun, then the different whatever they are. This is like the scientific explanation of it. But because it's going past these different colors, it changes the season. But that's because it has a different density, blah 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 blah. So since it has a circular orbit, the distance of it's not going to change
So
the
you're saying,
season. It's going to
okay,
be
so are we going to stick with a circular orbit, or are we going to go with an elliptical orbit? If it's an elliptical
if you have
orbit,
an
then we
elliptical
have to
orbit,
consider that when it is further from the sun in that part, that is going to be winter.
it's going to be colder. Yes.
Yes.
But if you have the elliptical orbit and the also the things in between the sun and the planet, it's going to get extremely cold and might and from a scientific
Depending
point of
on
view,
where we
parts of the
place
planet
it.
might
So, maybe winter is just winter, and then when it comes in closer to the sun, it passes through whatever cloud, the gas, whatever, and maybe that
Mhm.
is, potentially not as cold, but not as hot as it can get, or that could be a way to
Mhm.
protect it from the heat of the sun. If we're going to have the sun really hot and it's going to have an elliptical orbit where it
Yeah.
gets really close to the sun, maybe passing through there would be able to retain it within that
But
habitable.
also one of the things with Rua, if it is going to be on an elliptical orbit, then at certain times of the year, it might actually be possible to see it.
This is true. This is true. All right, so we'll go with a circular orbit. It's going to be easier, isn't it?
I would think so anyway. And then the change of the seasons could be because of whatever it's going through, whatever gas or
Yeah. So
celestial
what I have
fucking
at the moment,
bullshit.
I'll chuck over to desktop as well so people can see. So what I have at the moment is 3 to 500 day sort of cycle in the year, and 3 phases representing seasonal attributes. So not necessarily
hmm
like
And then
set
and then when there's no
seasons, but
phase, that would be the summer, I'm guessing, because nothing's blocking the light and it's direct.
So what are our 3 phases going to be? One phase will obviously be going through this gas cloud thing.
Um, the
Phase,
one,
I think phase
so the one
one
for summer,
we will just sit with
anyway, okay.
a standard, like nothing interfering. No
Yeah, where there's nothing interfering, so that would pretty much be the summer because of
interference.
direct heat. Yeah, yeah,
Hang on a second.
that crap.
Right, sorry about that, I'm back. I can't spell, but there you go. So phase one will be no interference.
hmm
Phase two, passing through gas cloud. Which is going to be what?
Another,
Cooler.
it would be cooler probably, yes.
And change the sun's glow.
Yeah.
So that'll
And then I
change
guess
how
another one that we
everything
could
kind of
do
looks.
would possibly be when the moons, because there's two, they're orbiting the same direction. The one's faster than the other because it's closer, blah 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 blah. I guess the next phase could be when the moons actually do go to pass each other. The one might like kind of get stuck in the other one's gravity a little bit. That could be a phase potentially, although I'm not saying that that would
Well,
be yet.
if we're going to keep them both going clockwise, and then one is obviously going to go, one will go faster than the other, but only ever so slightly, we could then
hmm
pass it off as being once a year they their paths cross. So the one moon
hmm
goes in front of the other, and because of the speed that takes, potentially that could be the cause of something of the third phase. So that entire period of the third phase is those two moons like sort of crossing paths.
Yeah, and that would also drag, of course, the tides to
But
one side of the world, of course.
if we're gonna do that, we have to figure out because that'll change the day-night cycle as well.
Well, no, well, the day-night cycle is decided by how fast the planet itself rotates, and that's not completely affected by the moons. Because you can see a moon during the day.
Yeah, but it affects our the length of days and nights and twilight because we're assuming that the two
Well,
moons
actually, yeah.
are causing
So I guess the
solar
twilight might be
disruption.
affected because if we have the gradual twilight that you're talking about, maybe that twilight's even more gradual, or it's less gradual in this time period, in this phase.
Okay, we'll go with this as something that we can. This will be something that we'll probably sit down on a Sunday and we'll go, right, let's nut out the two moons.
Okay, let's nut out these phases.
Let's
The
nut out the
phases
two
and the two
moons
moons.
and what that third phase is actually going to involve, how that would actually affect the planet.
All right.
So two moons, moons, aligning.
Moons.
So we'd say possible change in I don't know, it's not the day-night cycle, but it's like the
It would be the moon cycle. The
well, yeah, but
lunar
like I
cycle.
said, like a change in that twilight hour and stuff. Twilight time
But
and
what are we gonna call that?
nighttime.
We're gonna name
It's
it. We're
just
gonna name
twilight.
it the DJ effect.
The DJ effect. Possible change in the DJ effect. What? Sound good? Sound good? Oh yeah. Two moons align. Possible change in I'm just gonna say day, night.
The day-night cycle.
Possible change in yeah. In day night. That's good by me.
Tannibal's been sitting here a bit. What's up?
We can
Ew.
we can figure this out later on down the track.
We can
Okay.
try.
We can try.
Oh Christ.
Christ, he can't help
That's not
you.
good.
Whoa, that
Oh,
was not meant to
I'm
happen.
talking about
It's meant to be 24. That
Did
was
you
insane.
make like an insanely high number for no reason?
I went to change the text size from 11 to 24 and accidentally changed it to 241.
Okay, so I'm sure you have more written down than me, but this is more for me. So I have sun, white, large, year, gas between sun. I'm gonna write down phases and stuff.
Yeah, I've got phases throughout the year. DJ saying the nebula solar system, and with you
And
saying the gas cloud.
mirror world.
Mirror world.
I'm gonna put the name of Rua down there. And I have the two moons close
yeah,
moon, far
Tahira,
moon.
same orbit. Sorry?
I have the two moons, close moon, far moon.
Yes, C1, F1. Longer day, shorter night, extended twilight. I don't need to have clockwise in there, I don't think. I'll put it there. Clockwise rotation. Okay. I think that's pretty good.
I think the only thing this world doesn't need is an extended twilight.
So instead of the yearly cycle, so we'll say years split into 3 phases. One.
Sorry, yes, of course.
Nothing. Whoops,
Nera,
nothing.
this week
2.
I get to stream.
Gas
I get to
cloud
stream my
thing.
ass off this week.
You get to stream your ass off. I'll be there for you, buddy. I'll be there for you.
Let me self-promote. Let me abuse
Moon.
this moderator power and self-promote my ass off. Okay,
Yeah,
link.
allowed. Go for it. Link your little ass off. Your link's down below anyway. Down below in the info section is a link to Trekky's channel. That is where it is. And you will be streaming
Because
your ass off this
Canadians
week.
don't get offended. We get offended. We just don't talk about it.
Okay, so we're going to have a rather long yearly cycle split into 3 phases with no effect, gas cloud, and moon alignment being the 3 phases, I suppose. That sounds pretty good. So we've got let's
The cloud
recap.
is coming.
Let's recap on
Winter
everything
is
that
coming.
we've kind of gone off today. So we pretty much started with nothing.
Yay,
We've got names for at
nothing.
least 2 planets, Tahi and Rua, both in a circular orbit opposite each other in the same orbit of the sun. The sun is going to be
They're both relative
a
size to each other.
big white sun. So that's the general light that we're going to have, but that will be changed through the yearly cycle. 2 moons going
White
clockwise
light.
with a close moon, a far moon, and we will most likely have them crossing
Slightly
over.
faster close moon.
Yeah, so it'll only cross over once per year. So we'll have it split into sort of 3 segments
Once
where,
per full solar cycle.
yes,
Let's get technical now.
let's get technical. Technical.
Technical?
Technical.
Sounds dirty.
I know. The day-night
get technical,
cycle,
Nera?
because of our choice to use 2 moons, we're going to use those to extend the day.
And they're both going to be tiny. Tiny.
Yeah, they're going to be very, very small moons, so they're not going to have a large effect on
Alright,
tidal cycles.
I'm
all
coming
that kind
in.
of stuff.
I'm grabbing.
The day-night, we're going to
coming in to grab.
do a long day because we're going to use both moons to, I don't know, what did DJ say? We're going to basically refract light around the planet off the moons,
Yeah.
sort of, to extend. It will make the day no longer than what it would be
Look at
with
your
a single
webcam,
moon,
goddammit.
but it will. Hello.
You look directly into your webcam because I need a.
I
sweet-
was anyway. And
I
that
need to
will
get a
mean an
screenshot
extended twilight period, and a shorter night. So the night period is going to be considerably shorter than the day period. Which
That gesture you're doing with your hand is hot.
oh, gesture.
You're doing
And
that continuous gesture.
Finally, we got onto the yearly cycle, which we'll look into split into 3 phases. One where nothing in particular happens. It will be the first phase that we go through. Second phase, we're passing through an astral anomaly or a gas cloud of some description, which will change it to more of a winter setting, but will also change the hue of the light from the sun to be a more, I don't know, we want to go like a more orangey yellow sort of sun. It'll probably make it slightly darker, so it'll be a slightly darker, more moody setting through that phase. And colder.
This is perfect.
A lot colder. And the third phase where we're considering the moon alignment and the moons aligning together once a year, and during that phase, it will cause.
I got the perfect screenshot, Nera. I'm
Fantastic.
gonna be
I
happy
love
to see this meme.
cause other anomalies to occur during that stage, and will possibly affect the day-night cycle, but we will get into detail. That is something that we do definitely need to sit down and get into detail with, but that is for the rough draft of what we've kind of come up for today. So you've written most of this stuff down, Tricky, and you've got
I
pictures
have
and everything.
a summary of it down. I'll repeat again. I have sun, white, larger. Year, gas between sun/phases. Mirror world, Rua. 2 moons, close moon, far moon, small, extended twilight.
Small extended
Good enough
twilight.
for me.
Small.
No, the
extended
small is like the
twilight.
size of the moons.
Right.
These are
they're
notes
both
for me,
they're both
not
gonna
for you,
be
okay,
they're
Nera?
both gonna be full.
Listen,
Small.
Listen.
What?
These notes are for me. They're not fucking for you, okay?
Yeah, they are.
Don't judge my note taking.
They're going into our think tank bank, dude. Yeah, that's right. We have
Our
a
think tank bank.
Yeah, we have a think tank bank. I'll just chuck everything into my Dropbox file so that people can see what we've been working on, and you can just write that, it's created by you if you want, so we know who actually did it. I'm going to save this piece of work before I forget about it completely. Where does it go? Dropbox, world creation. We're going to go with a new folder, which is going to be week 2. What is the date today, good sirs? The date today
This
is the
this
15th.
is the 15th for me.
Yep. It's the end of the 15th to me. Right.
No one cares now. No one cares.
Oh, everyone cares.
Actually, people do care, but
Week 2, save. Fantastic. Okay, that one's done. I have a whole bunch of websites and stuff. As per usual, this will go into my highlights as well. If you missed the discussion today, it will be in highlights. You can also catch it on YouTube as well, on the YouTube channel. Links are
God damn it.
down below. Make sure you tune into Trekkie's
Hello.
stream during the week as well. You're going to be streaming. What are you going to be streaming this week?
I don't know yet exactly. I think I might continue some Morrowind tomorrow. I
I'll
really
be
need
looking
to
forward
work
to
on
that. I
my
love me some
my
Morrowind.
UI a bit, which I think that you said you'd help me out with
I
sometime.
can definitely
so I
help
guess
you
we can
with.
organize that.
I have to go out very shortly, but I'll be back later on tonight if you're still around. Otherwise,
I might still be around.
I'll be free all week.
I mean, I really have to get to it, and I don't have to do anything, so I might actually go to bed and get up for that, and then I can take a nap after that. Sleep for the week.
Oh, a while later. Yes. Fantastic. Sounds good.
So,
that's going to be pretty much us for today. We have been going for a little over 2 hours time. That's about right.
God damn.
That's about right. I think I'll keep it to this format, where we go for about 2 hours every Sunday. Look out next week. The new UI will be up and running. I'll work on that this week. We will have a proper bust out
And you should come
broadcast
check out my UI,
and
of
everything.
course.
And
That
of
Nera's
course,
gonna be helping me out with at some point.
we will be setting Trekkie up with a new UI and everything as well.
Praise the trapezoid for the UI.
Praise the trapezoid. So, anything else you would like to add there, Trekkie?
Random thinking noises. That's it.
That's it.
Theme
That's
music.
it. Fantastic. That's it then.
Okay.
That's it from myself, from Trekkie. We will be back next week. Are you going to come and join me again?
Goodbye.
I'll be happy for you to come and join me.
I would be pleased to come join you again.
All right, we'll
It'd
get
be my
Trekkie back
pleasure.
next week. We'll see if we can get some more guests on as well at some point throughout
Guest
the time.
starring
Guest starring whoever.
Whoopi
My cats. That's who will guest star.
Whoopi Goldberg.
No. Why? That just sounds awful.
Tell that to the people who
We're
made
go-
Star Trek Next
We're
Generation.
gonna
Every
talk.
episode
We're
is
gonna
Whoopi
talk
Goldberg was
astrology
great.
and world creation with Whoopi Goldberg next week. Fantastic. That sounds great.
Definitely talk to her.
Definitely.
Seriously, you can search up Guinan. Search up Whoopi Goldberg, Star Trek Next Generation.
I
swear to God.
I don't want to do that.
It's enlightening. It's enlightening, Nara. You want to.
No, it's not.
You can't see what I'm doing with my hands right now, but it's a
No,
giant
I
mind
can't,
trick,
which
okay?
is really, really good. Nobody else can see it. But next week we will have our UI up and we'll have a webcam on you so that people can see your sexual face.
Ooh, that sounds fancy. That sounds
so
fancy.
So fancy. All right, guys, that is it for the Bust Out broadcast, week 2 of Project Pohewa. We will be back again next week, and I'm going to start reading the Silmarillion.
Yay!
I'm actually going to start reading it. So
Ooh,
hopefully I'll have a bit
that's
of
a fancy
info
book.
based
Darn
on
sure
that
you'll like that.
next week.
And I'm
Along
gonna get
with
back
some
to
more
reading
research.
Aragon. I guess my job's gonna be kind of magic research. Earliest magic research, so I guess you could throw it there. Also, I guess I could do some creation research too, because Hey and Lenny. By the way, that's how I pronounce the name, in case you're wondering.
Nope, wasn't, but okay.
The world he created, Allegasia. I think I don't know how to pronounce the fucking name right, which pisses me off. He did
Allegasia?
spend like most of his teen years creating this world, so I kind of want to go into that and see how he did that too, and maybe that'll help us out a bit.
Alright, sounds good. As for next week, topics next week are yet to be decided. However, we will probably go I don't know. How do you feel? More into detail with the moons, or are we gonna
Could we
go?
go into I have a great idea what to go into. Why did Nera steal Bono's hair?
Yes, yes. Topic for next week. Nera stole Bono's hair. That is great. We will have that as our topic. All right, guys. From me and Trekkie, thank you very much for watching. We will be back again next week, same time, 3 p.m. GMT
Goodbye.
plus 12 on Sunday, with a little more Project Pohewa. Until then, check out the highlights. Check out the YouTube clip, which is essentially just going to be the highlights as well. And tune in to Trekkie and I streams throughout the week. My next event is coming up this Thursday with the release of Final Fantasy Type 0, and we will be doing, not Type 0, an
Ooh,
entire day of Final Fantasy 15 demo, from morning till evening until our hands are red and bloody and bruised. So look out for that. We will be back then.
you better go check your Facebook page.
I will. I will. Until then, ka kite. Have a great day.
Bye.